Trump announced he is suing the New York Times. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Here's the post from the president last night. Today, I have the great honor of bringing a $15 billion defamation and libel lawsuit against the New York Times, one of the worst and most degenerate newspapers in the history of our country, becoming a virtual mouthpiece for the radical left Democrat Party. I view it as the single largest illegal campaign contribution ever. Their endorsement of Kamala Harris was actually put dead center on the front page of the New York Times, something heretofore unheard of. The Times has engaged in decades-long method of lying about your favorite president, me, my family, business, the America First movement, MAGA, and our nation as a whole. I am proud to hold this once respected rag responsible as we are doing with the fake news networks such as our successful litigation against George Slopadopoulos, ABC Disney, and 60 Minutes CBS Paramount, who knew that they were falsely smearing me through a highly sophisticated system of document and visual alteration, which was in effect a malicious form of defamation and thus settled for record amounts. They practiced this long-term intent and pattern of abuse, which is both unacceptable and illegal. The New York Times has been allowed to freely lie, smear, and defame me for far too long, and that stops now. The suit is being brought in the great state of Florida. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. A all over the place rant, perhaps ending with the most ridiculous statement of them all, calling Florida a great state. I tease the good people of Florida. Trump has accused the New York Times and 4 of its reporters of defaming him ahead of the 2024 election. The president listed multiple examples of articles he did not agree with in a lawsuit filed on Monday in the U.S. District Court, the Middle District of Florida. Mr. Trump said the articles and a book published by 2 of the journalists were specifically designed to try and damage President Trump's business, personal, and political reputation. Well, at the very least, they failed at that, if they were trying to do it at all, because his business is doing pretty good, and he was elected president. So what are you crying about? According to the complaint, the articles and the book were published with actual malice toward Mr. Trump and caused enormous economic losses and damage to his professional and occupational interests. The lawsuit asked for damages of at least $15 billion. The dude is not only a sore loser, also a very sore winner. The dude won the election. His crypto meme coin went up billions in value after that scam was unleashed on people. He's still upset, the man. What do you got to do to stay on the guy's good side? You need to.
You can't.
Yeah, you just got to write articles saying you're so wonderful, sir, and we endorse you wholeheartedly, and we would love to shine your shoes. The defendants named in the suit were the New York Times Company and Suzanne Craig, Russ Bootner, Peter Baker, and Michael S. Schmidt. The complaint also named Penguin Random House, which published a book about Mr. Trump written by Miss Craig and Mr. Bootner as a defendant. A spokesman for the Times responded, quote, "This lawsuit has no merit. It lacks any legitimate legal claims and instead is an attempt to stifle and discourage independent reporting. The New York Times will not be deterred by intimidation tactics. We will continue to pursue the facts without fear or favor and stand up for journalists' First Amendment right to ask questions on behalf of the American people." Of course, not the first time Trump has targeted the media with lawsuits. Trump sued over the editing of a report on the CBS News program 60 Minutes, resulting in a $16 million settlement with Paramount in July. Last year, ABC News agreed to settle a defamation suit brought by Mr. Trump for $15 million, plus $1 million for his legal fees, over remarks made in an interview by the anchor George Stephanopoulos. The president also sued the Wall Street Journal in July for an article that stated he had sent a lewd birthday greeting to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. That's, of course, before the Epstein estate released that exact lewd birthday greeting that he, it seems, sent to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. Other than that, it seems totally made up. Jackson?
Well, I mean, I think like we should be able to sit here and just say New York Times is not going to entertain this or they're going to fight this. But look what happened with CBS, as you just read over that $16 million deal, and not just with the Paramount situation, but news outlets in general, even the MSNBCs as well, have really bent over backwards for this administration to try to avoid Trump's wrath the best that they can. So unfortunately, we'll have to see what the New York Times does. Maybe they'll settle with them. Maybe they won't. I don't know. The New York Times is, not a particularly well, whatever. We'll see what happens. But outside of that, again, yet another distraction from the fact that, for instance, wholesale vegetable prices are up 38%, coffee's up 16%. Eggs are up 10.5%. Beef is up like 11%. These are things that people can't ignore, as there's like 50% tariff on everything coming out of Brazil. So this is just that. I mean, I'm kind of struggling for new things to say because with Donald Trump, it's all the same old ish. It's always just him trying to avoid consequences for something that he's done, or him trying to distract from some type of trouble that he's in. So really, no matter what Trump story we cover, there's really nothing else to say.
Yeah, and it is true that beef is up 11%, and relatedly, beef between people in this country is up 82%. So
Definitely.
there's that happening. And you mentioned the tariffs that we have on Brazil, which by all accounts, it seems Trump just put on to as a retaliation against them pursuing their corrupt former president Bolsonaro. They we've instituted retaliatory personal beef tariffs. It's the weirdest place we're in, and Trump getting cockier with these lawsuits, going from 15, $16 million suits to a $15 billion suit, which is just ridiculous in every way. But we wish him the best of luck in his frivolous lawsuit, and may all of the lawsuit genies wish great lawsuit results upon
Oh,
the
and
president.
also, real quick, like another example, like yesterday, he announced that they shot up another boat coming out of Venezuela, just casually murdering people, putting absolutely no dent whatsoever in the drug trade, doing nothing to stop people's addiction problems. Or we're going to send the troops to Memphis, we're going to send the troops to Chicago. Nothing's actually changing, right? In DC on Sunday alone, there was a homicide, like 4 cases of armed robberies, 30 cases of theft. Nothing's actually happening. We're just wasting taxpayer dollars on lawsuits like this, as well as sending the troops in everywhere so that, people in Idaho who watch Fox News can feel like Trump's actually doing something. So that's all this is. And what else can Trump do? Donald Trump has no real insight or no real knowledge about how the world works. Clearly he doesn't. So what else can he do besides continue to put on a horse and pony show like this?
I'm suing you for saying that, Jackson. I don't like you saying negative things about the president of the United States. This
You
is
gonna sue
America.
me?
This is America, where we have to only say positive things about the president. Do you want to take that back and say he's a great guy?
Nah, man, I gotta stand on my words.
Okay, well,
Gotta stand on my words, man.
wow. Okay, la. I didn't hear that. I'm doing whatever the president thinks is. I think that he's the best guy, and he also is amazing at golf. Just wanted to make that very clear to everybody.